Welcome to EDUCast, the podcast of the EDUC Share Horizon 2020 project. With our podcast series, you will have the opportunity to meet several researchers from our partner universities and to discover exciting research and innovation topics and their links with society. My name is Csenge, Tóth, the product manager of our platform called Educ.openup.education, and I'm happy to introduce you to Zsolt Bedő, who is the Director of Innovation and External Relations at our University of Pécs at the Faculty of Business and Economics, and he is the co-founder of Education. Zsolt, could you briefly introduce yourself, please, and tell the listeners what you're doing at the University of Pécs?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I work, as you said, at the Faculty of Business and Economics, Director of Innovation and External Relations. Also, I'm involved in strategic projects on the university level that is focusing on boosting innovation capacity of the university, mainly focusing on inter- and multidisciplinary approaches.
And dear listeners, I'm the product manager of Education, as I said earlier, and this is a career management platform, and within this position, I have to execute a wide variety of tasks. I'm responsible for the online presence, I'm providing posts on our social media sites, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn account, and we also have our YouTube channel, where I usually post tutorial videos, which are summarizing all the features available on all of the Education instances, such as openup.pt.edu, which is the instance for our own university and our University of Pécs. I'm in daily contact with our developer, Bálint Szűcs, who is responsible for the operation of the system and developing the software continuously. 3 of us have regular update meetings every week, and I'm also responsible for GDPR documents, and I have to keep in touch with the legal parties who are responsible for executing these tasks. I'm in direct contact also with the partners of our faculty, and they are really important for us since they share relevant feedback in terms of user experience, so we can develop further our application and software. I'm the one who prepares the tutorial videos and slideshows for our users, including students, companies, and clients, and I also hold webinars if it's necessary, and it can be also online or in person. So all in all, or in a nutshell, this is how I could describe my major roles, but as in every position, there are always additional tasks which might occur. Now, let's move on to the introduction and evolution of OpenUp. Zsolt, please introduce the whole team in a nutshell and talk a little bit about the history, the evolution of OpenUp from the moment the idea was born until approximately to 2022 September, when I officially joined the team full-time, from where I will talk about the change of the concept of the platform which it went through.
Back then, Education emerged to help and student entrepreneurs to develop their own project, to publish their own project, and to interact with market participants, with venture capitalists, to validate the project and to raise funding. The main features and functions of the platform were created accordingly due to the high need of validation and interaction with the practitioners when it comes to an entrepreneurial project development. We've put large emphasis on developing functions like mentor function or the project publication function that allows student teams to give as much information about the project and about the developing team as possible. Also, we focused on not just the companies, not just the experts, but we focused on alumni. At the Faculty of Business and Economics, alumni members have high interest in getting involved in entrepreneurial projects, but there was no systematic channel or marketplace, if you will, that allowed the connection of alumni who are experts on the other hand, of course, and student projects and student idea owners to interact. When we first designed the platform, we contract with an external developer. They laid the foundation of the system. Also, we went into an online educational tool, if you will, which is called Project Room. with the developer. We created behind every project the opportunity after the team has been established and after the mentor has been assigned. We created a background project room that allowed the team to go through the entrepreneurial business development project step by step, receiving feedback, receiving valuation opportunity from mentors or from other stakeholders who are involved in the process as they move further. The focus back then was the entrepreneurial capacity building and to bridge the gap between project owners and companies, project owners and alumni and experts. The team consisted mainly of the members of our Entrepreneurship Center at the University of Pécs Faculty of Business and Economics, starting from experts in communication, colleagues who are knowledgeable in business modeling, colleagues who are knowledgeable in market research, in marketing, colleagues who are knowledgeable in financial issues. This broad team, which was roughly 10 to 15 experts, we designed the functionality and we also put the tutorial materials with videos and everything else that is necessary nowadays in an educational material into the project room for the students. So these were the initial functions. These were the initial ideas that we started out with. As the product was launched and we started using it with the participation of students and more colleagues, there were new areas that emerged that we thought would be beneficial. Also, we were approached by external partners who asked us to implement the platform instance for them as well. One was an innovation cluster in Hungary that brings together students, faculty members and companies. It's called EduWood. They use that for a slightly different purpose that what we used for. Here I have to mention that there is a module within and still is, and back then there was, it's called Skillversum. Skillversum is an online learning platform opportunity. So in the case of EduWood Innovation Cluster, their main objective was to create the place for interaction, this digital marketplace for all the stakeholders, and at the same time provide a platform for stakeholders to publish learning materials, not just in the domain of entrepreneurship, but in many other domains. And this is where Skillversum, this e-learning platform component, comes into place. Also, we were approached by local companies that work in the area of clean technology. We created a clean tech platform for them. For them, it was more the communication, the interaction than the educational component or the entrepreneurship component, communicating their own skills, communicating events, communicating project initiation. This was their core focus. Then EDUC Alliance came along, which represented a totally different challenge from the above mentioned, or the mention that I mentioned before. The EDUC Alliance, which I'm going to speak about a little later more extensively, represented the challenge of bridging the gap between universities in the European Union, bridging the gap between the researchers at these universities, the student at these universities, and possibly involving the entrepreneurial and corporate ecosystem of each university in one integrated marketplace, which later emerged as the Educ.openup.education.
Thank you very much. Now I talk a little bit about my experience. So I joined the team full-time in September 2022. By the time I had already had experience with working with the software. At this point, we brought many new activities and functions into it, such as the microcredit system initiated at our faculty. Moreover, the compulsory internship matchmaking function available for the students in the bachelor's program. The latter case was a very challenging task, since this process at our university is very diverse. Many employees are needed to execute such an internship period. Therefore, the acceptance of using a brand new tool for it was a little bit of a challenge for certain people. Fortunately, we already have 3 successful internship periods behind us. The third one has just finished last week. The process was designed by me, and after I was ready with the concept and the structure, I shared my concept with our developer, who then made the necessary changes. In the first year, I announced several training sessions, but now we hold a common information session with other parties with the faculty to provide every necessary information for the students at one occasion. We launched the first alumni mentor program as well, in which students get an opportunity in every semester to apply to alumni members' mentoring with a meaningful career experience behind them. In September 2023, we also implemented a competence measuring tool which has to be filled in by every freshman at our faculty. Zsolt, please introduce the relationship between University of Pécs and Education, and of course the EDUC Alliance. I would like you to give some operational background information, such as how meetings take place, how people initiate the certain developments in the platform.
EDUC Alliance emerged 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 3-4 years ago. EDUC Alliance is to bring together universities in the European Union to cooperate on a systematic base. This consortium is funded by the Commission through different funding engines. Educ.openup.education, the platform to bring together researchers and innovators and companies and financiers, emerged 2 years ago when EDUC Share Horizon 2020 project was kicked off, and within which we had a role specifically with the Open Up engine. The project, of course, as every project, started with an operational team. Every member of the alliance, which was back then was 6 universities, now we have 8 universities. We brought together mainly tech transfer officers because within the EDUC Share project, the objective was to boost the innovation capacity of the universities and to bring together innovators and funders and strategic investors under one umbrella in a digital form. So tech transfer officers were brought together, and they consisted of the project team to develop the main functionalities of the application. The major part of the functionalities were already there. This is why we selected OpenUp for this purpose. But then, as we continued on, there were many new features and functions that emerged as a demand as a result of the discussion that we had. Anybody could initiate new functionalities. Just 3 examples, which you're going to talk about more detail, if I'm not mistaken. One, for instance, was in one work package that was focusing on core facilities. The idea was in that work package to bring together core facilities and young researchers, and to fund the young researchers' efforts in these services, mainly laboratory examinations. Back then, when we launched the EDUC Share project, this was not on the agenda, but the colleague in Bruno asked us to develop this matchmaking function between core facilities and young researchers. We spent around 2 months developing this function, and then developing certain features that allow the consortium to launch a campaign for such matchmaking event. Or we worked closely with Work Package 1 colleagues who wanted to have additional features to bring together researchers and researchers to boost joint research activities within the Alliance. Also, in the original proposal and original plans, the communication team was going on a totally different path. As they realized all the benefits of this matchmaking marketplace, they asked us to develop a specific engine for podcasts, for publishing podcasts, which was later developed, and now we are publishing EDUC podcast series, just like the one that we were having this discussion with, and we publish these not just on the regular channels that one would listen to, but also on this Educ.openup platform as well. So with this, I would like to represent that even though the original idea and objective was to bring together the researchers and outside stakeholders to boost innovation, there have been many new dimensions that we had to open and develop in order to bring more and more stakeholders into this digital marketplace.
Thank you. Now I continue with the current features which are present in Educ instance. The first one is quite obvious one, and it is present in each and every instances we have. This is called the feed section, which is a common space where every member of the platform is free to post a message, a challenge, or a personal idea. This can be also general posts, and the heading type, the font type, the layout can be also edited. Users can be tagged, so this works quite similar to a Facebook post, for example. In the members subpage, this is also a common space to search for users of the platform by different filters regarding their profile types, such as mentor, professor, organization, alumni, practitioner, student, etc. We also have a mentoring function built in the Educ instance as well, which is where mentors and mentees can meet and start conversation with. And basically, this is how we can improve the collaboration process within the platform. We have a courses sub-page, which is a feature which is able to serve as a course catalog built in the platform as well. All the current courses are uploaded, so users are able to get to know more information about certain courses, such as organizing institution, the title, short and longer description, who is the instructor, what language is used, what skills can students gain by participating at these courses, contact email and contact user, duration, the credits, etc. Each and every information which I mentioned can be added when creating a course. The job section is also a general feature which we have all at our openup.education instances. We can also create within this tab job or an internship, because this is a common space for searching for jobs, internship positions, and here one can create jobs and internship opportunities as well. Within the news section, as this is one of our brand new features which we have, as I already described earlier, here one can add text and PDF documents as well, in which users can get access to the content, even in the landing page, without logging into the platform. The core facilities, which Zsolt mentioned earlier, provides creating core facilities by giving a short and a longer description, main equipment or services used, the scientific fields which are necessary, the contact, the website, the research infrastructure's head, and the participation in Educ call, because if the current core facility is present in the call, then one can apply for certain core facilities. So under this tab, one can find the different core facility establishments of the EDUC Alliance partner universities, and researchers can apply for using the resources at institutions even different from their own university, which can also enhance the collaboration between universities within the EDUC Alliance. The projects tab is a common space as well, which collects all the projects running on the platform. This can involve themes and topics, the disciplines, the needed competence, and the expected outcome, the city and country of the implementation. So it's also good for broadcasting projects or initiating collaborations between the researchers, for example. At the groups subpage, it can be also a public or a private space for groups created for a given circle of people to pursue conversations and share documents among themselves. At the events page, one can post and also join an event where upcoming events can be followed and users can get information about the details under this tab. And last but not least, the podcast subpage, which also Zsolt mentioned earlier, is a feature which provides a service where one can upload podcast episode by copying the URL link belonging to the given episode. And it is very important to mention that all the EDUCast episodes can be listened to here. So this is a place which also summarizes all the episodes, so you can just listen to them, the previous ones as well. Now I would like to talk about the current and future developments regarding Educ.openup.education. Firstly, I will introduce the current developments, as there were additional members of the Alliance in Spain and Norway impacted. We had to integrate them into the system, therefore the necessary descriptions and contact information have been added to the landing page. Now only the partner universities' countries are highlighted with orange color on the banner picture and the landing page. We also launched a news service, as I mentioned, which was important due to the many events and news which the EDUC Alliance is willing to share. In these sections, news can be published in form of text or even PDF documents can be uploaded as well. The unique characteristic of this feature is that these news will be linked to the main page of EDUC via application programming interface, so these will automatically appear there as well. Currently, every user is able to upload documents to this section. Currently, we are working on linking the contents shared on openup.education platforms such as events, jobs, and news with other web-based services provided by EDUC. Another important development in the integration of EduGain into the login process. This is an important development due to the login authorization and user identification. When it comes to the design of the platform, we made all the necessary changes regarding the public surface, the landing page of the platform, but internally, after logging in, we didn't make any changes at this point because it sufficiently fulfills the needs of the users and also the EDUC Alliance. Regarding the future development ideas, our platform is able to serve as a welcome and orientation group or even an innovative research showcase surface. Moreover, it has the ability to be a collaboration marketplace where educational resources and European cultural heritages could be exchanged. Alumni mentorship network, expert webinars and workshops, international exchange student support, expert Q&A sessions, European values, dialogues, and sustainability hub are all potential opportunities to be built in the platform quite easily. Just to mention some examples in more detail. The welcome and orientation group can be executed by providing orientation into the platform's features, both for users and instance partners, because we can also help set up profiles. We have additional tutorial videos and also slideshows available in order to give some guidance for our partners and the users of our platform. The innovative research showcase could be executed by the projects subpage or projects feature, and the type of the projects could be completed with additional types such as multimedia presentations, research papers, discussions, and also feedback. A collaboration marketplace could be initiated as well by adding more types of users such as researchers, students, and staff. And additional post types can be added such as collaboration proposals, partners for projects, and also potential joint initiatives. Educational resources exchange can be executed too by using the Skillversum, which is a peer-to-peer e-learning platform built in OpenUp, where educational resources can be shared, such as lecture notes, study guides, or even any other learning materials. European cultural exchange can be initiated by the events and the belonging groups feature, which can be created for webinars or conferences, for instance, and groups for specific language audiences can be created too. The Alumni Mentorship Network is an already existing feature, but in the instance of the University of Pécs, where we connect alumni members with current students of the faculty, for mentoring occasion is generally about 1.5 hours, but of course it can be specialized or personalized due to the needs of our partners or the instance owners. Expert webinars and workshops can be executed as well by the podcast feature, for example, which is a good way of broadcasting such events, and you will find this episode there as well, as I mentioned earlier. What is very important again is that data privacy and security has to be applied here as well. In case of our own instance, the visibility of the profile can be set as public, restricted, or anonym. Based on these settings, one can limit the access of other users to their posts, comments, profile data, etc. And EduGain is also an important element here regarding privacy, but if someone is not able to log in via this, admin members are permitted to accept the registrations of newcomers quickly and quite easily. Moving forward to our last topic, I would like to give the floor to Zsolt to introduce the objectives in relation to EDUC.
EDUC now going into new terms, funded by different projects, different funding engines, would like to expand on the previously executed projects. There were two engines, funding engines. One was focusing on students. This was the Erasmus Plus project, and the other one that I mentioned before, the Horizon 2020, was mainly focusing on researchers and with the focus in innovation. Now in the new term, there is an integrated way of thinking, integrated approach, and in the new EDUC joint projects, we want to expand on all areas from education to research to innovation. And of course, now that we are fully, at the moment we fully have developed all those functionalities that are necessary to serve as a joint marketplace, we want to make sure that more and more faculty members and students and outside stakeholders actively involved and actively using this platform. Of course, not just the purpose of using the platform, but because there are offline programs and interactions that require these users to join to use this joint marketplace. So all in all, I think that in the past 3 to 4 years, we have laid a good foundation, a digital foundation for the Alliance to come together and to share ideas, share research projects, share opportunities. Now it's high time to build on this foundation newer and newer programs that can be boosted or can be supported by OpenUp platform.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Zsolt. And dear listeners, if you are interested in the work of the association, you can find our website and further information underneath this episode in the descriptions. Thank you very much for listening.